Hello, this is Taylor Elwood here, and today what I'm going to be talking about is how to go about revising your keywords. You want to be doing this every so often with your ads. You're going to have ads that have run for a while and you've got some keywords that are working, but you've also turned some off. And so you're going to want to be thinking, how can I maybe find out what keywords people are using, as well as how can I discover some other keywords. So one thing, so I'm going to walk you through that today. And in this case, we're here on Amazon. We're with my one book, Walking with Spirits, and it's the most recent release that I had out for my occult nonfiction, and it's been out for a little while. And one of the things that I've done is I've scrolled down here, and if we look down here in bestsellers rank, one time it was like number one and all that. It isn't anymore, and that's to be expected. But what we're going to do in this case is we're going to take one thing that's nice is when we see these categories, we can click on them. And I have one clicked over here. And what we can see is we can actually see the top 100 books that are in a given category right now. And what this can do is this can tell us of specific keywords that we might want to be thinking of using, because we can take a look and see, okay, for example, maybe we should be using The Art of Occultism, or the Rosicrucian Handbook, or something else along those lines if we want to go further up in this particular category. And this is one of the ways that I like to go and find relatively new books. And one thing that you can also do then is you can actually click on a book. In this case, we're going to click on the Elemental Oracle. And the thing to keep in mind is that Amazon only shows you like 2 or 3 categories for a given book on its page. So you may end up clicking and finding like this is number one bestseller in Hermeticism and Rosicrucianism, but let's see what categories it falls under here. Let's see if we can ever get past it. And so we have here, we have a few others. We have like number 6 in cosmology and then number 17 in magic studies. So what we could do is we could actually click on magic studies and see the books that are in those particular categories. And that's going to show us what some of those books are as well. The other thing that you can do is, I had done this earlier, is I just clicked on one of these random books that I happened to notice because, of course, Amazon will give you books you may like. So you can go ahead and click on some of these different books and start finding, some of the books that are out there that may have been released recently or may be around, like this one here, Psychic Witch, has been around for quite a while. And you could go and click on that then and start seeing like some of the categories that it's doing well in. So this kind of gives you some ideas of where you can start to find some keywords, because then what you can do in this case is go in here and start saying, okay, well, which of these books are bestsellers here? I'm going to go ahead and add some of these to my list if I don't already have them. Now, some of these I already do have, but in some cases I don't have them. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to show you that. However, there's another way you can go about doing some keyword research. If you go to Amazon, actually, this is Amazon advertising, which is where we would add the keywords. And I've talked about how to add keywords before in a previous video. But if we go into our bookshelf here, one of the things that we can do is also go and pull up some reports, because you have the capacity to get some reports from Amazon, and I always recommend doing this because it can be helpful for you to see kind of what the actual reports are. Actually, this is not where I want to go. I mean, this is the reports on KDP. So I actually do want to go to Amazon, excuse me. So, okay, so we go to Amazon advertising here. And if we go down here to reports, and believe it or not, I do get reports from this every so often. It's just sometimes there's so many different places you can go and get reports. What you can do is you can actually generate a report. I created a report on the 31st of December, And what I recommend doing is doing this every so often. I would say, because what you can do then is you can download the reports. If we click on here and click create report, you have sponsored products, you have sponsored brands. You can set it by search term, targeting, advertising product, campaign, placement. So if we do advertising product, we could pick, something along those lines. What I do is I do it by search term because that's what I'm really interested in. And I'm going to show you here. Here's the actual spreadsheet that pulls up. This is the one that I did at the end of the month. I recommend doing this at the end of each month. It's not something I've always done as much as I should have. So I'm just going to, call myself on that. But what it tells you here is it tells you kind of the customer search term, the number of impressions and the clicks and the click-through rate. And so that can actually tell you some of the terms people are using. Now, in this case, it's also showing you what's being targeted. And the broad, so magic stays magic. Well, what I could do then is I could take some of these different terms and I could go ahead and add those to my particular search term keyword list and use and then add those to my ads. And so that's a way for you to get more search terms in for your ads. And at the same time to see what people are specifically searching for. And it also gives you an idea as to what search terms might be viable. I mean, as you can see, some here are, like the click-through rate for this for Black Magic is only 1.14199%. I'm not saying I wouldn't necessarily use it. I might give it a try just because, just to see what happens. But it gives you a good idea, like, where you're going to start seeing, okay, like where are these actually getting some usage, some clicks, things along those lines that might be useful in terms of actually getting, a decent number of clicks. The thing you have to also keep in mind is, I mean, in some cases like this one for Magic, we're looking at 18,483 impressions and 41 clicks. It's not too bad, even though it's only 0.22%. So, I mean, you have to keep that in mind as well, that and kind of look at it in relationship to that. But what this does is it gives you an idea as to what people are actually searching for and what terms they're using. So this is another way for you to add some search terms. And I recommend doing this for your ads every so often. It's something that I would say do once a month at the end of the month, is add some search terms to your keyword list, your keyword master list, and maybe phase out some of the ones that you're using that maybe aren't producing some great results as well. So that way you can sort of see what people are searching for and hopefully get some better results with your ads. And no matter what, you want to be doing this every so often. I mean, I would say, I go and I check the books for categories every few months, but just because, I mean, but I mean, I could do it every month and probably get some good results. So you want to keep that in mind, and you want to do this for any category that you're writing in. I mean, I'm showing you, in this case, esoteric, occult, non-fiction, but if I wanted to, I could do some reports for like the zombie apocalypse call center fiction series or stuff like that. But this is going to help you get some more keywords. It's going to help you at the same time start doing some digging in terms of figuring out what keywords are working. And it's a good way to help you become more familiar with the tools that are available to you. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And of course, if you guys have found this video helpful, make sure you click on the subscribe button and the little bell notification below, so that way you can get more videos. And I'll see you in later videos. Happy New Year and take care.